Welcome back to the deep dive. Looks like someone's getting a head start on 2025. You've sent over a whole stack of articles about Google Cloud Platform.
Wow. Ambitious.
That's one way to put it. All right, well, I'm not going to lie, it's a bit intimidating. But luckily, we have our cloud expert here to help us break it all down. We're diving into Roman Ironi's Google Cloud Platform Technology Nuggets, the January 115, 2025 edition.
Ooh, very cutting edge.
So what are the big takeaways here? Anything that just jumps out at you?
Well, one thing is definitely clear. Generative AI is, it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed too. It's like every other headline.
It really is a dominant theme in these updates.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The Vertex AI RAG API, it just hit general availability.
Huge news.
Break it down for us. What does this mean for developers?
This is going to be a game changer for anyone who wants to build custom generative AI apps, especially apps that are, grounded in their own data.
Okay, I think I get it. But for those who are maybe new to this, what does that actually look like?
So imagine you have a chatbot for your e-commerce site.
Okay, I'm following.
Instead of using a generic AI model, you can connect it to your own data, your product catalog, your customer reviews, even your sales data.
Ah, I see. So it's like giving the chatbot insider information.
Exactly. So it can provide much more personalized recommendations. It can answer very specific questions about your products, even offer promotions tailored to individual customers.
Okay, that's pretty cool. No more of those generic robotic responses.
Exactly. And that's just one example.
Wow. All right, well, speaking of cool, let's talk about these Mistral AI models. Now available on Vertex AI Model Garden.
Yes. Have you seen Codestral 25.01?
Yeah, I saw that. It's designed for coding assistants, right?
It is. And it's 2.5 times faster than the previous version.
Okay, so coding just got a whole lot easier and faster.
Exactly. Imagine being able to generate complex code blocks in seconds or debug tricky issues without pulling your hair out.
I could already hear the cheers from developers everywhere.
It really is a game changer for developer productivity.
Okay, so we've got the ARG API and these new AI models. What else is happening in the world of AI?
Well, the update also touches on supervised fine-tuning, or SFT, for LLMs.
SFT, okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
Basically, it's a way to train your AI model to be an expert in a specific task.
Ah, so instead of having a general purpose AI, you can fine-tune it for a specific job.
Exactly. So if you need an AI that's amazing at, say, analyzing customer sentiment, you can train it specifically for that.
Oh, interesting. So you're basically giving it a crash course in a specific area.
That's a good way to put it, and the article mentions some tips on how to do it effectively.
Perfect. We'll be sure to link to the article in the show notes for anyone who wants to dive deeper.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, one last thing on AI before we move on. I keep seeing this term multimodal search. What is that all about?
Oh, this is cool.
Okay, you've got my attention.
So imagine you're searching online, but instead of just using text, you can also use images.
Hold on, really? Like, I can upload a picture and search with that?
You got it. Let's say you saw a really cool lamp at your friend's house, and you want to find one just like it, but you have no idea what it's called. You could just snap a picture and use that to search.
That's incredible. So it's like taking Google Lens and putting it right in the search bar.
Precisely.
What's the technology behind that?
It's a combination of Vertex AI search and something called vector search.
Vector search. Okay, now you're just using fancy words to confuse me.
Sorry. But basically, it allows the search engine to understand the content of an image.
So it's not just matching keywords, it's actually looking at the image and figuring out what it is.
Exactly. And it gets even more powerful when you combine text and image search.
Okay, give me an example. How would someone actually use this?
Think about a fashion retailer. A customer could take a picture of a dress they like and then add search terms like similar style or different color.
Wow. Okay, my mind is officially blown.
It's pretty cool, right? And the possibilities are endless.
I can already see how this could change everything from e-commerce to healthcare. But let's be real, this is all very high-tech. For someone who's just getting started with Google Cloud, where do they even begin with all this AI stuff?
That's a great question. And the best advice I can give is to start small. Identify a specific problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, so find those pain points where you're like, there has to be a better way.
Exactly. And then see if there's an AI solution that can help. Don't try to do everything at once.
Small steps. Got it.
And Google Cloud has a ton of resources to help you get started.
Awesome. Well, we've only just scratched the surface of AI, and I'm already feeling overwhelmed.
It's a lot to take in.
But it's clear that AI is the future, and Google Cloud is leading the charge. Speaking of the future, let's talk about what's happening in the world of retail. Because it seems like brick-and-mortar stores are finally getting a much-needed tech upgrade.
Absolutely. And one of the most exciting trends is inference at the edge.
Inference at the edge. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It basically means running AI applications directly on devices in stores.
So instead of sending data to the cloud for processing, it's all happening locally.
You got it.
Okay, paint me a picture. What does that actually look like in a store?
Imagine you're browsing the electronics section, and as you pick up a new smart speaker, a nearby screen lights up, and it starts suggesting compatible smart bulbs, home security systems, even music streaming services.
Wait, so it's like the store knows what I'm looking at and is trying to help me find related products.
Exactly, and it can all happen in real time thanks to AI at the edge.
Okay, so it's like having a personal shopper who knows everything about the store.
And it can even go beyond product recommendations. Imagine you're looking for a specific item.
Okay, like that pasta sauce I can never find.
Exactly. A digital assistant could guide you to the exact aisle and shelf location.
Wow. No more wandering aimlessly through the store.
And it's all thanks to the power of AI.
So we've got AI working its magic in the aisles. But what about behind the scenes? This article mentioned something about CPUs versus GPUs for edge deployments. What's that all about?
Ah, yes. That's an important consideration for retailers.
Okay, break it down for us. What's the difference?
So CPUs are great for general purpose computing tasks. They're like the workhorses.
Okay, I'm with you.
But when it comes to AI, GPUs are the real powerhouses. They can handle those complex calculations much faster.
So CPUs are like the everyday drivers, and GPUs are the sports cars.
That's a great analogy.
So which one is the right choice for retailers?
It really depends on the complexity of the AI applications they're using.
Okay, so if they're just doing basic product recommendations, a CPU might be enough.
Right. But for more advanced stuff like personalized virtual styling or real-time inventory management, they'll need the power of a GPU.
Got it. So retailers need to choose the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And this article provides some good guidance on how to make those decisions.
Perfect. We'll make sure to link to that as well. Now, before we move on from retail, I have one more question. What about security? I mean, we're talking about sensitive customer data here.
That's a great point, and you're absolutely right. Security is paramount.
So how is Google Cloud ensuring the security of these edge deployments?
They have a multi-layered approach, everything from secure boot processes to data encryption and access controls.
Okay, so they're not just throwing AI out there without any safeguards.
Absolutely not. Data is protected both in transit and at rest, even on those devices outside the data center.
That's good to hear. So retailers can rest assured that their data is safe.
Absolutely. Google Cloud takes security very seriously.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And speaking of security, there's some exciting new developments in that area as well.
Oh, yeah. What have you seen?
Well, for starters, there's the new Google Cloud Abuse Event Logging.
Oh, tell me more about that.
It basically gives you much better visibility and automation for managing security threats. So you're not just relying on email notifications anymore.
Ah, that's a big improvement. I can already see security teams breathing a sigh of relief.
Right. So you can track and analyze events in cloud logging. You get a much more centralized view of what's happening. And you can even set up automated responses to mitigate risks.
Very cool. Anything else catching your eye on the security front?
Well, there's also this new series called How Google Does It.
How Google does it. What's that?
It's a behind-the-scenes look at Google's own security practices. The first episode is all about threat detection.
Oh, interesting. So they're not just building tools, they're sharing their own expertise.
Exactly. And it highlights their approach to automation and asset inventory.
Very valuable insights.
Definitely. And they even teased some new security content coming to Google Cloud next 2025.
Oh, exciting. Looks like I'll have to wait and see what they have in store.
Always good to have something to look forward to. Now, let's shift gears a bit. One of the case studies that really caught my eye was the Deutsche Börse Group.
Oh, yeah. What are they up to?
They're building this cloud-native trading platform. For all sorts of different assets and investor needs, it sounds incredibly complex.
It is a fascinating case study. Building a platform like that is no easy feat.
Yeah, the financial markets are so volatile and fast-paced.
Exactly. They needed a platform that could handle those wild fluctuations and massive volumes.
And they used a whole bunch of different Google Cloud technologies to do it. GEP&LB, NEGS, GKE.
Wow, the whole alphabet soup.
So, can you break it down for us? How did all those technologies help them build this beast of a platform?
Let's start with GEPNLB, or Google Cloud External HTTPS Load Balancer.
Okay, I'm listening.
It basically ensures that traffic is distributed smoothly, even during peak demand.
So when the market goes crazy and everyone's trying to trade at once, the platform can handle it.
Exactly. It's like having a super efficient traffic cop directing all those requests to the right place.
Ah, I see. And what about NEGs?
Those are network endpoint groups, and they play a key role in how traffic is routed to the backends.
Okay, starting to get a little technical here.
And then there's GKE, or Google Kubernetes Engine.
GKE, that's for container orchestration, right?
You got it. And that allows them to easily scale the platform up or down as needed.
So basically, they can adapt to the ever-changing demands of the market.
Precisely. And the results speak for themselves. They were able to launch the platform successfully and meet the needs of their investors.
It's amazing what they've been able to achieve with Google Cloud. Okay, before we jump into the next topic, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. Minimizing blast radius.
Blast radius. Oh, right.
It's not exactly the most cheerful topic, but it's something every developer needs to think about.
Absolutely. It's all about containing problems and minimizing their impact.
So if there's a bug in my code, it could potentially take down a whole bunch of other systems.
That's the risk, yes. But there are strategies to mitigate it.
Okay, well, I'm all ears. How do you prevent those code bugs from turning into full-blown disasters?
The article highlights how Google's Workspace Site Reliability Engineering team tackles this.
Okay, what's their secret?
They use isolated instances and storage partitions.
Isolated instances, so it's like building firewalls within your system.
That's a good way to think about it. If one part catches fire, it doesn't spread to the entire building.
So you're containing potential problems and preventing them from cascading.
Exactly. Let's say you have a critical application running on a virtual machine. If that VM crashes, you don't want it to take down other applications on the same server.
Right.
So by isolating that VM, you limit the damage.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like having a backup generator that kicks in when the power goes out.
That's a great analogy.
So you're still up and running, even if part of the system failed.
Exactly. Isolated instances and storage partitions are essential for minimizing blast radius.
Got it. Well, that's good to know. Now, for something completely different, conversational agents driving UI updates. When I read that, I thought I was in a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? It sounds futuristic, but it's happening now.
So we're not just talking about chatbots answering questions anymore. They can actually change what we see on a website.
That's the idea. Imagine you're on an e-commerce site and you ask the chatbot for product recommendations.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Instead of just giving you a list, it actually updates the page to show you those products.
Whoa. So the chatbot is like a personal shopper curating the entire website experience just for me.
Exactly. And it can go beyond product recommendations. Let's say you're looking for a new laptop and you tell the chatbot your budget and your needs. It could filter the product listings to show you only the most relevant options.
So it's like having a personal assistant who knows exactly what you're looking for.
And it can all happen in real time thanks to AI.
This is incredible. What's the technology behind all this magic?
It's a combination of Dialogflow and Dialogflow Messenger.
Okay, so Dialogflow is the brains of the operation, understanding what the user's asking.
Right. And Dialogflow Messenger provides the interface for the chatbot to interact with the website.
Got it. So they work together to create this seamless, interactive experience. Amazing. But how difficult is it to actually set all this up?
It might sound complicated, but Google Cloud has made it pretty straightforward. They provide the tools and documentation you need, and there are plenty of examples and tutorials online.
So even someone who's not a coding wizard can start experimenting with that.
Absolutely. It's definitely worth exploring.
Okay, well, I'm adding that to my to-do list. Now, since we're on the topic of creating amazing web experiences, I want to touch on one more thing. Scene change detection using AI. This one caught my eye because it has big implications for advertising.
Oh, yeah. That's a really interesting one.
So the idea is to use AI to identify natural breaks in video content, so you can insert ads without disrupting the flow.
Exactly. Nobody likes it when an ad interrupts a crucial moment in a movie.
It totally ruins the experience. So how does AI actually figure out where to put those ads?
It analyzes the visual content of the video. Google's Gemini model can identify different scenes, objects, actions.
So it's like having an AI director who understands the flow of the video.
That's a great way to put it. And it allows advertisers to target their ads much more effectively.
So viewers get a better experience and advertisers get better results Win-win.
Exactly. It's a great example of how AI can improve everyone's experience.
And this article mentioned proof of concept architecture and a notebook for video analysis, right?
Yes, they did. They're
Yeah.
really encouraging people to experiment with this technology.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cool that they're making these tools accessible to everyone. Okay, well, before we wrap up this section, I want to give a quick shout out to our PyTorch fans out there.
PyTorch, what about them?
There's a new JX tutorial designed specifically for PyTorch developers.
Oh, cool. So they can learn how to use JAX without starting from scratch.
Exactly. It bridges the gap between the two frameworks, and they use a classic machine learning example predicting Titanic survival to illustrate the concepts.
That's a fun one.
It is. And there's even a Kaggle notebook so you can get some hands-on practice.
Awesome. Definitely a valuable resource for anyone who wants to explore JAX.
All right, well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the rise of generative AI to the power of AI at the edge. And I have to say, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
It is a lot to digest, but it's all so exciting.
It really is. It feels like Google Cloud is constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible with technology.
They're definitely innovating at a rapid pace, and it's only going to accelerate from here.
Okay, well, before we wrap up this deep dive, I always like to ask our expert for a final thought-provoking takeaway. So from everything we've discussed today, what's one thing that really stands out to you, something that makes you go, wow, the future is going to be wild?
You know what really strikes me is the pervasiveness of AI. It's not just a separate set of tools anymore. It's woven into the very fabric of Google Cloud.
So it's like AI is the invisible hand shaping the future of the cloud, touching every aspect of technology.
Exactly. And that makes me incredibly excited about what's to come. As AI continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative applications.
It's like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
We are, and it's going to be an amazing journey.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to go build something amazing. And if you're feeling the same way, be sure to check out the full article by Roman Irani. We'll include a link in the show notes. Happy learning, everyone! So spill the beans. What new security goodies does Google Cloud have in store for us?
Well, one that stands out is the new Google Cloud Abuse Event Logging feature. It gives you much better visibility into security threats and better automation, too, for managing those threats.
Okay, so less sifting through emails and more proactive security management.
Exactly. It's all logged with cloud logging now.
Oh, so you can actually see what's going on and do something about it.
Exactly. You can track events, analyze them, set up alerts.
That sounds way more efficient than just waiting for an email to pop up.
It is. It's a huge step forward for security management on Google Cloud.
All right, so that's abuse event logging. Anything else exciting on the security front?
Well, they also launched this new series called How Google Does It.
How Google does it. Okay,
Yeah.
what's that all about?
It's a behind-the-scenes look at Google's own security practices.
Oh, cool. So they're sharing their secrets.
In a way, yes. The first episode focuses on threat detection.
Threat detection, that's a big one.
It is, and it highlights how they use automation and asset inventory to stay ahead of threats.
So not just tools, but actual strategies.
Exactly. It's like getting a masterclass in security from the experts themselves.
I like it. Okay, anything else on security before we move on?
Well, they did mention some upcoming security content at Google Cloud Next 2025.
Ooh, a sneak peek into the future. I guess we'll have to wait and see what they reveal.
We will.
What?
It sounds promising.
All right, well, let's shift gears a bit. One of the case studies that really caught my attention was the Deutsche Börse Group.
Deutsche Börse Group, I don't think I'm familiar with them.
They're building this cloud-native trading platform for, like, all sorts of different assets and investor needs.
Oh, wow. That sounds ambitious.
It is. And the article mentions they use all these different Google Cloud technologies, GEPNLB, NEGS, GKE.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
So can you break it down for us? How did those technologies help them build this complex platform?
Sure. So GEPNLB stands for Google Cloud External HTTPS Load Balancer.
Okay, I'm listening.
It basically ensures smooth traffic distribution, even during those peak demand times.
So when the market is going crazy and everyone's trying to trade at once, the platform can handle it.
Exactly. It's like having a super efficient traffic cop,
Yeah.
making sure everything flows smoothly.
Ah, I see. And what about NIGs?
Those are network endpoint groups, and they play a key role in how traffic is routed to the backends.
Okay, getting a bit technical here, but I think I'm following.
And then there's GKE, or Google Kubernetes Engine, which is all about container orchestration.
GKE. That's the one that lets you scale your applications up and down easily, right?
You got it. So they can easily adjust the platform's capacity to meet the demands of the market.
So it's like having a flexible infrastructure that can adapt to any situation.
Precisely. And the results speak for themselves. They were able to launch the platform successfully.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we jump into the next topic, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. Minimizing blast radius.
Blast radius. Oh, right.
It's not the most fun topic,
Okay.
but it's super important for developers.
Absolutely. It's all about damage control, containing those potential problems.
So if I have a bug in my code, it could potentially bring down a whole bunch of other systems.
It could, yes. That's the whole idea of a blast radius.
Okay, well, that's a bit terrifying. How do you prevent that from happening?
Well, the article highlights how Google's workspace site reliability engineering team approaches this.
Okay, what's their secret?
They use a combination of isolated instances and storage partitions.
Isolated instances. So it's like putting up walls between different parts of your system.
Exactly. Think of it like fire compartments in a building. If one compartment catches fire, it doesn't spread to the whole building.
Ah, I see. So you're containing the damage.
Exactly. You're preventing those small problems from cascading into major outages.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like having a safety net.
It is. And it's a critical part of building reliable and resilient systems on Google Cloud.
All right, well, that's good to know. Now, for something that completely blew my mind, conversational agents driving UI updates.
Oh, yeah, that's a wild one.
When I read that, I thought I was reading science fiction.
It does sound futuristic, but it's becoming a reality.
So we're not just talking about chatbots answering questions anymore. They could actually change what we see on a website.
They can. Imagine you're on an e-commerce site and you ask the chatbot for product recommendations.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Instead of just listing them out, the chatbot actually updates the page to display those products.
Whoa, so the chatbot is like a personal shopper curating the entire website experience just for me.
Exactly. And it can go beyond product recommendations, too.
Like what?
Let's say you're looking for a new laptop. You tell the chatbot your budget, the screen size you need, what you'll be using it for, and it can filter the product listings to show you only the most relevant options.
So it's like having a personal assistant who knows exactly what you're looking for.
It is. And it can all happen in real time.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. How does that even work? What's the magic behind it?
It's a combination of Dialogflow and Dialogflow Messenger.
Dialogflow, that's the one that lets you build conversational interfaces, right?
Right. And Dialogflow Messenger provides the interface for the chatbot to interact with the website.
So they work together to create this seamless experience where the chatbot can actually control what you see on the website.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It is. It sounds pretty complicated, though.
It might seem that way, but Google Cloud has made it pretty easy to get started. They have all the tools and documentation you need, and there are plenty of examples online.
So even someone who's not a coding expert can give it a try.
Definitely. It's a great way to explore the possibilities of conversational AI.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to check that out. Now, since we're talking about creating amazing web experiences, I want to touch on one more thing. Scene change detection using AI.
Oh, yeah. I was just reading about that. What did you think?
I think it's brilliant, especially for advertising.
I agree. It's a game changer.
So the basic idea is to use AI to identify those natural breaks in video content, so you can insert ads without interrupting the flow.
Exactly. Nobody wants to see an ad pop up right in the middle of a crucial moment in a movie.
Or doing a big game.
Right. It totally ruins the experience. So this AI can figure out the best places to insert those ads.
So it's like having an AI director who understands the flow of the video.
That's a great analogy. And it means a better experience for viewers and better results for advertisers.
Win-win.
Exactly. Everyone benefits.
And this article mentioned they have a proof of concept architecture and a notebook for video analysis, right?
They do. They're really encouraging people to experiment with this technology.
I love that. They're making AI accessible to everyone. Okay, well, before we wrap up this section, I want to give a shout out to our PyTorch fans out there.
Oh, yeah. What's up with PyTorch?
There's a new JX tutorial that's designed specifically for PyTorch developers.
Cool. So they can learn how to use JAX without having to start from scratch.
Exactly. It bridges the gap between those two frameworks.
That's awesome. What kind of things do they cover in the tutorial?
They use the classic Titanic survival prediction problem to illustrate the concept.
Ah, the Titanic.
It's a classic.
It is. And there's even a Kaggle notebook so you can try it out yourself.
Very cool. I'm sure our PyTorch listeners will appreciate that.
I hope so. Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the rise of generative AI to the power of AI at the edge.
It's been a whirlwind tour.
Google Cloud is just like constantly innovating.
It really is. There's always something new to discover.
Okay, well, before we wrap things up, I have one last question for you. What's the one thing from all this that really makes you excited about the future of Google Cloud?
Hmm, that's a tough one.
I know, right? There's so much to choose from.
I think what really stands out to me is just how pervasive AI is becoming.
Pervasive. What do you mean by that?
It's not just a separate set of tools anymore. It's integrated into everything.
Just like AI is the underlying foundation for everything else.
Exactly. We see it in retail with AI at the edge. We see it in security with AI-powered threat detection, even in software development with AI driving UI updates.
It's like AI is the invisible force behind it all, shaping the future of the cloud.
I think that's a great way to put it, and that makes me incredibly optimistic about what's to come.
Me too. It feels like we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution.
We are, and Google Cloud is right at the forefront.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to go build something amazing.
Me too.
And for those of you listening, if you want to learn more about all the amazing things happening on Google Cloud, be sure to check out the full article by Roman Irani. We'll include a link in the show notes. Happy learning, everyone.